Everyone these days is worried about finding reliable sources on media and online. Is it all fake news? And how can students quality assess the sources that they're finding online to use in their study? I have a solution for you. Follow this list of 6 sources classed from the most reliable to the least reliable to help you quality check the sources you find. Keep in mind this list of sources when assessing what you find online, but obviously you need to think about it because not all of them are automatically good and some of them are automatically rubbish. Number 1, scholarly sources. These are the things produced by academics in peer-reviewed journals. Most of this work is done in good faith by people who are trying to figure out what is going on. So long as the methodology supporting the piece is robust, then you are okay to trust the results. Most academics are not sponsored or funded by somebody, therefore are not particularly biased in the results, and they don't have an inbuilt incentive to find one way rather than another. Of course, there are problems with peer review, as you will find with any system, but something that has appeared in an academic journal is likely to be a good source for your bibliography. Second, books, monographs, and other things produced in print by academics from universities. While books and chapters in edited collections don't go through the same process of peer review as academic journal articles, they're still good sources to use. And most of the time, they are less a reflection of the ideology or the bias of the author and more the result of methodologically robust and properly checked research. Number 3, online sources produced by scholars. Keep in mind that a lot of the work produced by academics, before it finds itself in print in something like a book or a chapter in an edited collection or a peer-reviewed journal, is likely to have appeared on an online repository or to have been presented at a conference or perhaps find its way into a blog. These sources are also okay to use even though they don't go through the same checking process as the other types of publications in point 1 and point 2 mentioned already. Number 4, in-house work. Here is where we're getting into a bit of a danger territory. Things that are produced for a specific sponsor or they've been paid for by a corporation, a government, or something that somebody writes for their employer are likely to reflect the ideology and bias and intentions of whoever is supporting this work. For example, if you look at in-house publications produced by corporations, they're unlikely to be very critical of the corporation itself. Equally, if you look at material produced by NGOs, the non-governmental organizations, they're usually very critical of the targets of their research. This is not to say that in-house produced research is not to be used in your bibliography and is not robust and is fine. It could be, but you need to be a little bit more mindful of the context in which it is produced. 5, pieces in the media. This has become contentious because there's a lot of belief out there that journalistic work is either paid for by somebody or serving a political purpose or reflecting a particular ideology for the people that write it or the people that edit and publish it. While this may be true in some cases, I don't think it's pervasive, but there's a worse problem with journalistic material. Like everything else that is produced commercially and tries to find a wider audience, journalists need to get the clicks. They need to get the views on their articles in order to make a living. Therefore, quite a lot of the scholarship or the research work that you might find embedded in the media produced by journalists tends to be more sensational than it should be. So if you overcome any concerns about the bias or whoever the publisher is or the ideological position of the newspaper or the media organization, you should still be a little bit mindful. These are stuff that are produced for a wider public and they're meant to be enticing. They're not necessarily always correct. Number 6, the bottom of this list. These are self-published pieces online, the sort of things that you will find in social media or you will find in personal blogs. These are very dangerous because most of the time the people who write them don't know what they're talking about. We're talking about some kind of spaced out mums on Facebook groups or some weird guy living in his mom's basement that pretends to have figured it all out and is spouting nonsense conspiracy theories. These things should never make their way into the bibliography of your student work. Equally, unverified sources that can be edited by the wider public, like Wikipedia, should also not be there as key references in your bibliography. What do you think about this list? Is this list reliable? Think about it, and if you found it useful, hit that like button so you can spread it to more people. And before you move away, click this next video here for more student tips and tricks that you don't want to miss. Thank you, and see you next time.